Hi, I'm Louisa, and for my final paper, I decided to compare beauty standards between Vietnamese and Taiwanese American women. I decided to interview my two roommates, Alina Quach and Jada Su. So first, let's start off with their background. Jada Su is my first interviewee. She is 21 years old, she is Taiwanese American, and her parents immigrated here around the ages of 21. I decided to not include pictures of them, so instead have their native culture's national flower instead. So fun fact, their national flower is the plum blossom. My second interviewee is Alina Quach. She is 24 years old. She is Vietnamese American. She was born in San Diego, California. She is first generation, and her parents immigrated here when they were around 18. So fun fact, their national flower is the lotus flower. These are the interview questions I decided to ask them. So number one, what cultural background do you identify with, and how would you define your culture's beauty standards? 2. What messages do you receive from your family about beauty and attractiveness? 3. How might your features fit in or differ from conventional American beauty standards? 4. Do you consciously adhere to these beauty standards? How have your peers responded to the way you look? 5. How have these expectations impacted your daily lifestyle? 6. In your culture, how do gender norms influence the way people present themselves? 7. Please add any additional thoughts or reactions or feelings you had while answering these questions. So, Jade described the outward experience of someone from her culture to ideally have fair skin, long black hair, be tall, have double eyelids, clear skin, and be feminine. Defying these beauty standards result in verbal confrontation. Once she has shared this personal experience with me where she has cut her hair short because it was more comfortable, but she was shamed by her family and said that she would never find a husband because she was not feminine enough. She also has a skin condition and was told to hide and fix it constantly as it did not make her skin clear. As a result, she feels like she must wear more makeup, be more feminine, and dress more conservatively. She felt as if America was more accepting of her natural beauty, as it was more freeform than the Taiwanese culture. She has received harsh judgment if strayed from the norm, and she feels as if society should be more body positive and inclusive moving on. Alina Koch is the second person I interviewed, and she said that her beauty standards by culture include being light-skinned, having natural hair, being thin, and feminine as well. She wasn't allowed to dye her hair as it was considered a bad omen and a sign of delinquency. She was once dyed her hair, and she was told to scrub out the hair until the color was gone. She feel like light skin was heavily prided in her family's culture because she was never allowed to leave the house unless she was coated in sunscreen. She was told constantly by her family to dress more modestly, but more conservatively and modestly and feminine, but she likes more comfortable wear. And she was always told this quote, to be pretty for your providing husband. This interview made her realize that society and culture is overall disappointing because it seems outdated and stagnant. So I decided to compare the two cultures. Both cultures are very alike in beauty standards as they want an ideal thin, light skin to be feminine. But there are some key differences I noticed where Vietnamese prefer a more natural beauty, whereas Taiwanese are more strict in their beauty terms of being tall with long hair and clear skin. Everyone has difficulties assimilating into a different culture's standards, and overall it's just hard to fit in with beauty standards of any culture. Family greatly affects how they perceive this beauty standards, and they're commonly forced upon to their offspring. In conclusion, defying these standards will result in hardships because there are more collective cultures they care about. The more collective cultures care about appearances more as it shows a snippet of who they actually are. Parents are very vocal and confrontational about how their children look, how it is an expression of them and how they raise them. They like beauty standards are less. There's less freedom and expression, whereas America is more open and creative about how the beauty standards are. And overall, their parents were born and raised under different circumstances, and they're born in different countries and they probably formed their own ideals before immigrating here, and they had their own background to go from. Whereas in America, it's different, and they sometimes don't understand that. Thank you very much.